This is the old dump truck. It's a 73 Chevrolet C60. It's been in the family a lot longer than I have. And the odometer shows just under 70,000 miles. Though with that 350 in there, it spent most of its time as a flatbed. First for Grandpa and then for Dad, before finally being converted to a dump truck. And that fender basically rotted off of it from the moment it was new, and it's always looked like that as long as I can remember. I was unfortunately driving her the day she died. It started to rattle coming down the driveway, and I did check the oil pressure and it was good, but about the time I looked back up, she quit and the engine locked. We're not sure exactly what happened, but it did have a lifter fall down inside along with some push rods, and one of the lifters we fished out had the bottom blown out of it. So probably a broken camshaft. Doesn't really matter, I guess. We're gonna go ahead and put a different one on out of a different work truck that's also legacy of Grandpa and been around longer than I have, with a small block 400 in it. So I think the goal today is to just get started on taking it out, trying to figure out what I need to do. I suspect I can pull it by myself with the backhoe. Since we really can't afford any building materials and we're waiting for the prices to come back down, I thought this is the perfect opportunity to work on that, and we can get some of the stuff done around here that I know we can do. That's the goal anyways. There was some debate in my head about whether I was going to separate it from the transmission or not. I was actually originally leaning towards pulling them all as a single unit and then bolting the other motor on and sliding them all back in. Then I called Dad, and he said the only reason that you would want to separate them maybe is if we were going to consider rebuilding this. But there's no cam in the back. Like, you can stick a screwdriver or a wrench down inside there, and there's just literally nothing. Right, I mean, there's nothing there. So he figures the chances of this block being salvageable, at least by our purposes, is basically zero at this point. So I'm gonna loosen all the bell housing bolts, just leave one or two in, and just leave it hung in there because, well, why not? Why not pull it when I have help, right? Rather than fight it out right now. It's not like it's going back in. So we'll just get the other one off. I just know the motor is coming out of a 77, 78 C30, and I just know it is an utter grease ball. Just a disgusting mess. That one's gonna suck to work on. Well, I mean, hell, that motor hasn't run in at least 17 years, 18 years, so it's probably gonna need rings. But it is only the old dump truck, it'll be fine. Yeah, and this is that famous intake manifold that is such a problem child. 184866572. Obviously that's 1836572, I believe. But yeah, that got me once. This starter has a bolt that comes in from the other direction, a big old long one, and it was up behind a wiring harness, and I didn't know any better, so it means that I just broke the ear off a perfectly good starter motor. Yay me. guess that's it for the moment. Sometime later, I'll have to go up to the farm. We've got some logs to mill, and then we'll pull the motor out of the old pickup up there. And we're running on the assumption the blocks are the same. At least enough that they will bolt up, and we'll be able to figure out the accessories. That's the assumption. I hope it's not too much of an assumption, but that's the assumption. Obviously the old dump truck, she's never going to see the highway again. Barring the apocalypse, she's never going to see the highway again, and so, yeah, just to put her around here, I have more problems, I think, with stuff fouling up from lack of RPMs than too many. So we're just going to use anything that'll bolt in there. This is the donor truck. It is a 1979 Chevrolet 1-ton, 4-wheel drive. It has positive traction axles, front and rear. It was quite the beast in its day. It was Grandpa's work truck. It's got 300,000 on it. It's got 3 motors, the original small block, a crate 350, then the original small block 400 rebuilt, and I think 2 transmissions put in it. It was my first pickup, and I loved it until I let my mom drive it, and it scared her because how bad it was, and I wasn't allowed to drive it anymore. We don't have any gas in it yet. Let me take this loose. Yeah, we got pressure. We got fuel in there. I hear squirters. Okay, so now it's squirting. All right, give it a try again then. And it's got a manual choke, so you can find it in there. There, now you got the choke. That's a good sign. I'd say it's going to run fine. All that rattling is that the torque converter is not connected to the flywheel at all. The bolts are separated. Okay? If it's going to start that easy. Huh? There's not a cloud of smoke behind it. No. It never smoked before. Well, I mean, 20 years, like you said, the rings. That's crazy. You can try and start it some more if you want. Let it run a little more. I don't think you can hurt anything. We don't care. The torque converter could get damaged, but I don't have any plans for this transmission. Hey, it was running pretty smooth too. It was running fine. Yeah. I think we got a motor. Every bit of 20 years since that motor ran, and it just started like that. And we literally did nothing but run 2-cycle. 15-year-old 2-cycle oil through it, and as long as I pump this, it runs. It runs. I'm still super. Honest. You flush the fuel system and take it into town. It's crazy this thing sat for 20 years. No ether. No. On pre-mixed boat gas. And it just started right up. This is why we took it off the road. Or off the farm. What? Oh, I'm just laughing about I've already done the end crank bolts have come loose. I hope they haven't wrecked the end of the crank. Holy smokes. Is it running? Well,
bolts didn't come loose.
Tightening those bolts wouldn't have done anything.
Nope. There you go. That's what was wrong with the engine. That right there.
So even to fix this, it would have had to come out.
It would have had to come out in order. You'd have to do this. Yeah.
Dang, there ain't nothing holding it together.
Nope. No. Some of the heads must be the only keeping it from coming off. It's only fitting that it's Dad's dump truck and this is Dad's pickup, that the two go back together.
Yeah.
Keep it running on his junk. And I don't think we need these either.
So something had to have been leaking in here, huh?
Yeah, yeah. You see fresh oil right there. Yeah, the valve covers, I'm sure, were leaking. But keep in mind, this engine was done like 20 years ago. It probably's got 80,000 miles on it, 60 to 80,000.
The odometer in the truck says 99 something.
Right, well, put a 2 in front of that. It's 299,000. That really, yeah. It was driven a long time like that too. It was driven a long time. That's why it kept making so much noise. Eventually, I guess it would have stripped totally out, spun out totally.
Yeah, or just popped off and fell backwards. It's what's wrong with that white Ford Explorer.
Yeah, same thing.
That's what was laying in the pan.
And there's no camshaft right there. There's a camshaft up there.
Piston rod's jammed in there.
Yeah.
Or sorry, yeah, push rod's jammed in there.
Yeah, because it does not turn.
Huh. Poor thing. Yeah. Well, Dad just left with a oh shit, what's that? Oh, haven't got the hood on straight. Damn it. I'll have to adjust that. Other than that, the motor is in and she runs. We've got the intake from the old one and the carb from the old one. Most of the antifreeze from the old one. Stuff like that. It took longer than I wanted to admit. It was pretty hard. One of the problems was the excavator boom. You know, it settles a bit, and it doesn't just settle in one dimension, it moves. But, ready? Longer than that motor has run in 2 decades. She's running fine. I don't know if we're gonna have rings stuck in. Seems like we probably will. But oil's pretty cheap. You know, just need to put a big placard on the dash that says always check it. It'll probably be okay. Oh yeah, I'm not going to run it. There's no dieseling. I'm not going to run it. There's some stuff that still needs to be tied up. Obviously, I've got a problem with this hood. I'm not sure what it hooked on. Oh, it hooked on that hood bolt back there. I don't know. I know it's in. I know it runs. I won't I won't test it until tomorrow. Gotta get in here, like I said, and tie a bunch of stuff up. But you know, the old girl, she done fired up. So that's the beating heart out of my first pickup, which was my grandfather's work truck, and the truck has about 300,000 on it. It had this motor, a crate 350. Then Dad rebuilt this. This is the 400. Dad rebuilt this one and put this one in, and this motor's got, I don't know, 80,000 on it now. But hey, at least we know she works. Yeah, that's it. That is repowering the old dump truck. Still haven't stepped on the clutch. I'm sure it's fine. Whew, it is hot out here. It is hot out here, and we are 10 degrees lower than it's gonna be in 2 days. So I think I might head home and edit these videos. But from everyone out here at the river house and the old girl, Grandpa's truck running the motor from Grandpa's other truck, thanks for watching.